Hello and welcome to the Entertainment Earth Toy of the Week podcast. I'm your host, Adam Paulus. This week, our Toy of the Week is Star Wars The Vintage Collection Action Figures Wave 5. It is April 19th, 2019. So Wave 5 is interesting in that, from my understanding, this is kind of a limited channel release. It shouldn't be in big box stores. I'm not saying it won't be because things happen, but it's my understanding that you'll be able to get this item online and I believe in some parts of Europe, so I don't know that you're going to see it too many other places. The wave includes, I want to phrase this carefully, they're not repacks because they're new production with new deco of 4 figures. If you collected Star Wars Vintage Collection back in 2010, you recognize all of these because the front of the packaging looks very similar to the originals. The back of the packaging is brand new, and the figures themselves have all had some changes. So if you're a completist and you need every variation and you want the best version of everything, you need Vintage Wave 5. If you are happy with whatever it is you have, clearly you're not a Star Wars collector. Anyway, the 4 figures are Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker in his Jedi Knight / Endor capture outfit. They've changed the name on the packaging. Princess Leia in her Hoth gear, and Han Solo in his Echo Base coat. So Darth Vader is the one that's the most surprising because I didn't think this would be interesting, and I was wrong because this is the Evolution Darth Vader from 2005, which was a really good Vader back in the day. It's still really good, but there are slightly improved versions since then. You get swivel wrists and all that stuff, but this one was unique in that it had cloth capes, and it could sit, and it could stand, and it had a 2-piece removable helmet, which was a big deal. Unfortunately, the new helmet seems to be fused together. The dome and the mask on mine seem to be glued. I'm hearing some people say they're not glued. Mine was also painted, so it's entirely possible that mine was just kind of fused because of the paint. I don't know for a fact how they're all going to be, because I just got this and not many people have these in hand yet. When you take off the helmet, it gets really interesting, because Darth Vader has a new paint job with incredible detail. The skin is a little bit more gray. The scars are a little bit more red. There's more dark stuff around the eyes. It looks more like he did in the movie. He does not have the eyebrows from 1983, so it's more like the DVD editions of the movies. And it looks fantastic. I mean, this is the best unmasked 3¼ inch Darth Vader I've ever seen. The left hand can hold his lightsaber just fine. The right hand still can't. That's the way it always was. And the buttons on the chest now have, the top one is blue. I believe the 2010 release was green. So it's a bit more accurate to Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. The armor is nice and glossy. He's got lateral shoulder movement. The legs can swing forward. It's a very good Darth Vader. Probably, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say it is the best and only one you can buy. But it's one of the best Darth Vader figures Hasbro's ever done, and it's aged really, really well. So if you want to get a Darth Vader figure, this wave is a good one to get. And I assumed Vader would be the one you didn't need, but because you can't see the changes to the figure in the packaging, you have to take the helmet off when you open it. So that was the first figure I opened because I had to know. Was it different? Yes. Next is Luke Skywalker. This is the Jedi Knight Endor capture figure. This release is called Luke Skywalker Endor. So if you look at the packaging on an online site, you will see that it just has the word Endor underneath it. And that's how you can tell from looking at it from the front, if you couldn't get close enough into the head to see that they repainted it. The figure has the lateral hip movement, which was really cool back in the day, as well as the bend and swivel wrists, which might have been... This is one of the first figures to have it, I think. So it's really cool to have, because you can get more poses out of him with your lightsaber. He includes a lit lightsaber, a lightsaber hilt, and handcuffs. It's a very skinny figure. You can swing his legs forward a little bit. It's really good for posing for duels and stuff. The head seems a smidgen wide. It might be an illusion by the haircut, but it's got two-tone hair, and they did a really good job adding highlights to the face, because now he's got painted lips. There's a little bit of liner around the eye, not eyeliner, just kind of an outline. The eyebrows are a bit darker. It's a bit more defined, so if you get real close, you can tell there's a big difference, because the previous release had painted eyes, painted hair, painted eyebrows, and that was about it. So seeing the extra facial detail is really impressive. And Hasbro's really gone the extra mile in making its human figures look a little bit more alive, and I'm impressed by that. And that's why you want to get this figure, because of the improved likeness. Other than that, it's pretty much the same figure you got 10 years ago. So if you lost any of the accessories of the old one and just need new ones, this is a good figure. If you want to display one Luke with his lightsaber, one with his hilt, and one without, you can do that. It's all the more reasons to get more than one version since they do variations as they go. Princess Leia Hoth, same basic thing. They redid her head, and it looks really, really good. If you have the Force Link version from last year, it's kind of like that, where they did a really, really good job painting the face. Her lips are painted. She's got some eyeliner. The eyes themselves seem to have more detail. The eyebrows are really good. The hairline's great. And other than that, the paint job is pretty much what you're used to. She's still a super articulated figure. This was before they started putting lateral hip movement on figures. The shoulders can move out, and you can't even really see the joints. They did a good job of hiding things like swivel wrists and the ball-jointed elbows in the folds of the coat. Her legs swing forward, no problem. She's got ankle joints. This is a really good figure. She has a blaster, and that new head paint job is what you're going to want to get this figure for. Or possibly the packaging. From the front, she doesn't look too different from the previous release, but the back of the package looks significantly different. And I can say the same thing about Han Solo Echo Base. The one Han Solo figure I did not see coming back in 2010-ish. I think it was 10. But because Hasbro was saying, like, oh, we got a new version of Han Solo from The Empire Strikes Back we've never done. And a lot of us were looking at each other like, what? And it's this one. This is Han with his coat open. You can see it's got white lining. He's got a kind of a loose holster with a blaster you can put in there. He's got his welding torch and safety goggles. And the fur around the coat is painted really nicely, too. Also painted nicely the head. Harrison Ford's head doesn't seem to really get perfect as a 3 3/4 inch figure. I don't know what the secret sauce is, but they did a really good job painting it, so it looks a little bit more like him. He's kind of sneering, and it's kind of good. The figure is based loosely on a retooled version of the, I believe it was the 2000, was it 7? Indoor trench coat Han Solo vintage figure. It might have been 2006. Don't hold me to that. Either way, lots of articulation. Legs swing forward really well. Holster doesn't really get in the way too much, but you got a big coat, so he's not going to be sitting anywhere. The mask looks cool. The torch looks great. He can hold the both of them in his hands. The blaster fits in his hand just great. It's just an outfit that you really didn't see very much, so it's not necessarily one you wouldn't necessarily deem essential, and I'm using that word too much. But it is one of the best 3 3/4 inch Harrison Ford likenesses you'll ever see on a Han Solo figure, and it's the first one to have this new realistic paint style. I would recommend you get one just so you can see it. And we don't have any in stock today, but we are taking orders for our next shipment, which should be coming soon, I hope. You can go to entertainmentearth.com right now, type in Star Wars Vintage Luke, Han, Leia, Vader, and it'll just pull it right up. And we'll also have other new vintage figures as soon as we can. We add new stuff as often as our suppliers allow us to do so. So we have new toys going up on the site every day. And there's some really awesome stuff going up. We just put up a Playmobil School and a Playmobil, let's say, Winter Princess line. And new Hasbro Star Wars, new Hasbro Star Wars Vintage, new Luke X-Wing helmet, all kinds of stuff. So if you like Star Wars, it's always a good time to go to Entertainment Earth and just see what we added. Just type in Star Wars and we'll show you. That's it. Thanks for listening to the Entertainment Earth podcast. This is Adam Paulus signing off. Follow us on Twitter, and be sure to get this wave because it's a great take on the main characters like you don't usually get to see them. And Hasbro doesn't put out that many waves where it's just new and improved versions of main original trilogy characters. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time there was a wave of just improved figures from those movies. So get this while you can. See you next time, everybody.